So hey guys, it is of course me, Trollface the Man. I am going to be trying a deadly, or potentially deadly berry today, known as Bittersweet Nightshade. I got some notes here, real quick I'm going to run through. This species is Solanum dulcimara. It goes by other names, which is bitter nightshade, trailing berry, blue bindwind, climbing nightshade, Armara dulcis, or dulcis, fallen wort, fallen wood, poison berry, scarlet berry, poison flower, trailing bittersweet, trailing nightshade, woody nightshade, violet bloom snakeberry, or simply just bittersweet. So you guys might have heard of this before by one of its very many names. It's a red berry. It tends to grow in woodlands and marshes. It's a perennial vine. It's toxic to humans. It likes only partial sun. It likes moist soil. It's an invasive species, and it used to be used to ward against witchcraft. Wonder how that worked out for them. The flowers tend to be between 1.5 or 1 through 1.5 centimeters long. Grows in clusters of 3 through 20. The flower is a violet color in a star shape, with the stamen in the center jutting outward with a yellow color. All parts of the flower, or all parts of the plant, are toxic. I'm sure you can still see me there. After it's been pollinated, it grows oblong fruits that are about 1 centimeter long. By the way, 1 centimeter is just under half an inch. 1.5 centimeters is just over half an inch for people like me that live in America and don't use the metric system. All parts of the plant are toxic, as I mentioned before, but the unripe fruit is believed to be more so. Solanine is the toxic part in the berries. That is supposed to be the main danger. It's also what is inside of green potatoes, or the potato skin of green potatoes. And that's actually kind of interesting, because tomatoes, eggplants, tobacco, and potatoes are all part of the nightshade family. So it's actually kind of makes sense. Though green tomatoes actually are toxic, believe it or not, but very slightly so. Green tomatoes, instead of containing solanine, contain tomatine, I do believe it is, tomatine, and if you eat a bunch of green tomatoes, it can actually make you sick to your stomach. So instead of the leaves, arrowhead, lobed at the base, so they have main part and then 2 smaller leaves jutting outward, but instead of me showing you an illustration, I wanted to show you the plant itself. It makes things a lot easier. Now, normally to find something like this bittersweet nightshade, I would have to go out to the other house and find some berries growing in the wild, because we're at a rent-a-house right now, but we're renovating the other house. As it turns out, I didn't realize this at first, but we have a lot of this bittersweet nightshade growing right here on the property in that bush in the background there. So let me go take us over there. Alright, so we are back. I am just going to grab the camera real quick and show you around a bit. So yeah, actually, as it turns out, we have literally a huge, giant bush of all of this bittersweet nightshade. Like I said, it's actually a bunch of vines. But as you can see, this is what I'm talking about with the flowers. The flowers are a star shape. See if I can zoom in a bit. It's hard to get focus. The flowers are a star shape. They're violet colored, and they have a yellow stamen that juts out from the center. I got pictures of that too, which I'll show you. That makes it a lot easier to see what's going on. And the leaves, like I said, they're sort of this arrowhead shaped, and they have these other lobed leaves growing out the bottom in a parallel fashion. The berries can range from being green colored like this to, of course, red colored, much like tomatoes. Once again, they are actually in the same family. But you'll also find orangish or yellowish orange berries growing on there too, and that's just during the different stages of ripening. Okay, before I actually eat any of these berries here, I do want to say something. These berries right here from this nightshade plant, bittersweet nightshade might not be as poisonous as deadly nightshade, which sometimes this is called, but it's not actually deadly nightshade. Deadly nightshade has dark purple or blackish berries. It could take as little as 6 of these berries to paralyze somebody. It can just do havoc to the nervous system, which means if you eat these and you go into paralysis, your heart can stop beating or your diaphragm could stop working, which means that you can no longer breathe and you will die. The reason why I am going to try one of these berries is, first off, I'm not going to swallow one of these berries. I am going to try a little bit, spit it out, rinse my mouth out, because in theory, even one of these berries, even a few of these berries, shouldn't be enough to harm me with how big I am. But it can definitely harm a kid, which is actually one of the reasons why I'm going to be cutting down this bush later. I had already talked to the neighbor about it. The neighbor has 2 younger kids. As nice as the bush looks, and the bees are loving it right now because they're collecting pollen, as nice as it looks, it could take just a few of these berries to seriously injure a kid. So if you have some of these growing on your property, it is probably the best idea for you to remove them if you have children or possibly pets that might eat it, though they typically avoid them. So another thing I did before even trying these berries, because if the solanine toxin in the berries isn't enough to seriously harm me, which, like I said, it shouldn't be, what could harm me is if I had a very severe allergic reaction to said berries. So it's not a perfect test, it's not conclusive, but what I did do is I took a little bit of the berry juice and I put it on my lip. I didn't taste it, I put it on my lip and I put it on the inner side of my arm to see if I had any type of reaction like a rash or numbing that might indicate that I would be potentially allergic to these berries. I did not have any reaction, which is why I'm progressing to the next step, which is actually tasting them. Once again though, I'm not going to swallow them. So let's try one of these out. I got red berries here. Remember, once again, the green berries or the unripened fruits are supposed to be more toxic than the ripened fruits. Some people actually use this for medicinal purposes. So, I'm gonna try it. I'm only gonna take like a little half of it. I don't know how this is gonna taste, but I take it bittersweet. Yeah. Yeah. I hate tomatoes, and that doesn't really taste like tomato, luckily. Okay, first off, it smells like tomatoes. It smells like tomatoes. I'm gonna avoid swallowing during this course until I can rinse out my mouth better. But it was very watery. I don't know where they get the sweet aspect of it. It definitely had a little bit of bitterness to it. Though when I inhale now, it's almost like when you have like mint on your tongue, it sort of has a little bit of a tingling sensation, which I really hope that's not some type of poison that's gonna kill me. But yeah, it was very watery. It was very gooey. Like, it was almost like tomatoes when you get in the very center and they have like all the seeds and stuff like that. It was just mush. Like, didn't taste horrible. I mean, I could totally imagine somebody eating this thinking that it was something okay. So you can see like just a gooey, nasty inside. I could totally imagine people, if they were hungry, eating those, thinking that they're like okay to eat or whatever. But I would not enjoy eating them. So, once again, if you guys have Bittersweet Nightshade and you have kids, this is what it looks like. That's how the leaves look. You've seen the berries. It might be a good idea to cut them down. I thank you guys for watching, and if this video gets uploaded, I suppose you can assume that I haven't died of excruciatingly painful death. So, all for your entertainment, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to click that like button, to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and leave a comment below if you enjoy me taking unnecessary risks like this. And also don't forget, I do in fact have a Patreon that could help pay for any medical bills in the future. So if you would check that out, or you click the support my channel button on my main page and donate a few bucks, I appreciate it. It helps me make future videos. Thank you guys very much, and bye. I'll show you guys how I do my gardening.